So in this video, we're going to be talking about how to write our rough draft. We completed a plan the other day, and today you're going to take that plan and your pros and cons table and create a rough draft of your argumentative essay on school uniforms. A rough draft is just that, it's rough. It's not a final copy, but a sloppy copy. We get our initial thoughts down from our plan on our paper, and then we expand on the ideas from our hamburger model. The first thing we need to look at is we can take our hamburger model and divide it up into paragraphs. So each section that I have divided up as a different color is a different paragraph. And you'll see there are going to be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. So the first thing you'll need to do is have open in one tab your hamburger model that you completed the other day. And you're going to have a new blank Google document that you need to give it a title. So you can give it School Uniform Essay. Okay, and click off of it. And then make sure you're going to move that to your writing folder. Go to your Google Drive and select your writing folder and click Move There. And then make sure you share it with me so that I can see it. Before we start anything, we need to make sure we go ahead and get our settings correct on it. So make sure you can use 14 or 18 font. And please try to pick a font style that I can read easily, and it's not teeny tiny and it's not hard to read. All right, so Arial works, Comic Sans, New Times New Roman. All right, I have it set on Arial right now, which is fine for me. So we'll do center line for our title, School Uniforms. And then you need to make sure you go back to left align so that we'll be in paragraph form. Do not leave it on center align. All right, once we are ready to start, we're going to look at our introduction because that's paragraph number 1. What do we need to have in our introduction? We need to have our hook, which is our lead. We need to have our topic, what we're writing about, and our 3 reasons. Okay, so let's start by doing that. So do you think school uniforms should be required in public schools? So I'm going to tab, and I'm going to do that. Okay, don't worry if you make spelling errors. We can fix those later. Well, I think, here's my topic, that school uniforms are a good thing and should be used in the public schools. Notice how I just took my information for school uniforms and I elaborated and expanded on it. I didn't just say I'm for school uniforms. We need to make this more interesting and more detailed and more descriptive. And then we're going to talk about our 3 reasons. Show school spirit, less distractions, and less violence. Okay, so I'm not going to use those exact words. And put school uniforms. Oops. It came off there. Allow students to show school spirit each day, and they cause less distractions than normal clothes. While students are in class. And then violence. Uniforms also help to decrease school violence or violence in schools. And then I have my first paragraph. So remember, we need to make sure we have our hook. We write about what our topic is, and we put our 3 reasons into sentence form so that it makes sense and it flows. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to paragraph 2, which is going to be our reason 1. We're going to start here with our transition, which is to begin with, and then we're going to do reason 1. They show school spirit. So I'm going to go down to the next line. I'm going to hit tab, and I'm going to say to begin with. Whenever we write transitional words or phrases, we put a comma after it. So to begin with, comma. I'm not going to say it the exact way. I don't want to sound a computer, so I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to say wearing school uniforms each day helps students to express their school spirit. Okay, so I got my top. Then I need to do my elaboration pieces. Now, it is not what you put here word for word. Okay, you're going to take those ideas, they're reminders, and then you're going to write about it. So I'll talk about everywhere wearing similar clothes and what those clothes look like. Okay, so each student in the school like polo shirts and khaki pants or shorts. And the second one was talking about the colors. The color of the shirts usually are required to be one or both of the school colors. And I'm going to expand on that. So if your school colors are blue and gold, you would wear either a blue polo shirt or a gold polo shirt each day. Okay. I expanded on it. All right, so he said they're usually based on school colors. I took that and I made that into several different sentences. Then I'm going to look at the last piece. Kids get to express their school spirit through always wearing the school colors. Okay, so I'm there and it's making sense. So by doing this, students get to show their school spirit by wearing their school colors each day and not just on one day during school spirit week. Okay. So I have a good number of paragraphs. I'm going to think, did I say everything I wanted to say about it? And check to make sure you hit all your points of elaboration and you've given more than just that little bit. You've talked about it more. Then we're going to go down to reason 2. Less distraction. I'll look at my transition in addition to, or in addition. All right, so I'm going to come here, tab. I'm going to say in addition, comma. It's a transitional phrase. So again, school uniforms provide less distractions, okay? Wearing school uniforms provide for less distractions in the classroom. Okay. No one is comparing their clothes to someone else's, and so there's no teasing. Okay. Everyone will be wearing similar or light clothing. Let me make sure I said that right. They're not going to be comparing their clothes to someone else's. So no one will be comparing what they're wearing to anyone else. This will lead to less teasing between students based on what they are wearing. Also talking about how they don't have to worry about fitting in. Okay. Not to have to worry about fitting in with the in crowd because of what they're wearing. We all know that, I'm adding to it, more learning takes place in a classroom when there are less distractions, including teasing others about their clothes. Okay, make sure I got them all. And I added a little bit more. Great. Now I'm going to go on to my reason number 3. I see my transition is furthermore, less violence. Okay. So I hit enter to go down to the next and tab to start a new paragraph. Furthermore, there is less violence in schools when students wear school uniforms. Let's look at back here. They won't be arguing over who dresses better. So since they all be wearing similar clothes, there will be no arguing over who is dressing better. And the second one I said was that there were going to be less fights. So I'm going to say, we all know that arguing leads to fighting, especially in middle school. This will give students one less thing to fight about. Notice I took less fights and I made it into a lot more than that. Okay. I said that we all know that arguing leads to fighting, especially in middle school. This will give students one less thing to fight about. So I took the words less fighting and expanded on that and put it into 2 sentences. And then I want to talk about schools with uniforms decrease their school violence. So these make sure I add in those statistics. These aren't the exact statistics. All right, I'm going off the top of my head, but you use exactly what it was in your research. In the study of I can't remember what it was, Long Island school that started using school uniforms, violence decreased by 30%. Remember, this is school, so we're going to say less violence means more learning is taking place. Always add in more information. All right, so now we can go down to our final paragraph, which is our conclusion. We're going to start with our transitional word, in conclusion. That's what I have here. And then I'm going to restate my topics, such as school uniforms are great for students. Okay, next paragraph, tab, in conclusion, comma, school uniforms are great for kids. And I'm going to say, here's where a lot of people like to repeat their 3 reasons, and you can do that. You can say, once again, that they show school spirit, they're less distracting, and they reduce violence. So I'm going to say that again. All 3. Uniforms show school spirit. Decrease distractions in the classroom and help to decrease violence in schools. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to look down at our lasting thought, where I said, with all the violence and hate in schools, school uniforms can do a lot to fix some of these problems. Okay, keep clicking the wrong one. With all the violence and hatred in schools today, let's see, school uniforms can do a lot to fix some of these problems. Now, our last line here, when we sum it all up, it should show what our true belief is, okay? And it's our ending, concluding sentence. And then you're going to look back over and make sure you have all 5 paragraphs, all right? And that is how you're going to do your rough draft. Remember, you don't have to worry about these spelling errors now. You can fix those later.